Welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. Thanks for joining us. We are so excited to be back for another week.
We sure are. We've been having a lot of fun answering your questions and just talking shit like Kathy and I do well. Hey, so make sure you're submitting all those questions and comments. We love reading them. You know what to do by now, don't you? Just go to bachelornation.com/golden hour and submit away, because that's what we're here for.
And you should send us everything. Your comments, your questions, your updates. We answer your questions and then we say, get back to us and let us know how those wedding plans went, how that divorce went. We really want to hear all of it. You can also DM us on Instagram at Bachelor Happy Hour.
Absolutely can. So before we get into today's episode, Kath, what do you think? With our very special guest, Kathy, we got to talk about last night's episode of The Bachelor. I mean, where do we even
Susan,
begin?
There's so much.
Can I just say, and I think you agree, the first night, I was so impressed. I think I had tears before the show started when he talked about his family.
Wait, newsflash. Susan crying. So unexpected. So unexpected. No, it was really sad growing up without a dad.
Yeah, not so impressed. I think I had tears before the show started when he talked about his family. Last night's episode of The Bachelor. I mean, where do we even
Susan,
begin?
There's so much. Can
I just say, and I think you agree, the first night, I was so impressed. I think I had tears before the show started when he talked about his family.
Newsflash. Susan crying. So unexpected. So unexpected. No, it was really sad growing up without a dad.
Yeah, not having dinners as a family. Yeah. And the first impression Rose went to his grandma. Like, I love that.
That was sweet. The pre-packages were really well done. But
then we get into last night.
Let me just say, we're going to talk a little bit about the gals. First, I need to give a shout out to Juliana. First of all, I think she's going to go really far in this show, but I'm giving her a shout out because she is from Newton, Massachusetts, and that's where I grew up. And I believe her uncle went to high school with my sister. So Juliana, I'm rooting for you, girl. I'm rooting for her. She is from Newton. It's called The Lake. You're from down the lake. So anyway, that's for Juliana.
Exactly where you're
she
coming
knows
from,
exactly where I'm coming from.
But wait, how about the makeout sessions and jumping on top of them? I'm like
straddling. But wait, let me say something, Susan. I cannot believe the difference between The Bachelor with the youngins and the Goldens with, Gary and Joan as leads. First of all, Joan didn't have beds. She said, I'm not going to kiss guys. I'm not going to, get into bed with guys. These girls from the get-go have been talking about, he's my husband. Grant's making out with every one of them. He freaking sends Alicia home last night and he's making out with her on the first night.
That blew me away. I really thought he was into her. I really did.
I don't. So the other thing that I'm finding so interesting is, these are young people, right? Yeah. They haven't lived a lot of life yet. They haven't learned a lot of life lessons like, we have. Having said that, he's talking, his first love is basketball. And I'm like, I wanted to rewind that and say, wait, do you want to rethink that, Grant? And then he says he really wants to be a dad. So we got all these women saying, I want to be your wife. I want you to be my husband.
When we have our kids,
And when we have our kids, I'm like, you've known this guy exactly 30 seconds. And
let's see how he treats you. Right. What happened to women demanding the right man to respect her and to treat her well?
It's not that he won't. It's that they don't know anything. We know that he played pro basketball. We know he likes music. We know he wants kids. We know he wants to be a dad. And we're all in love with him. I just find the dichotomy between the Golden Bachelor, the difference is blowing me away on this season.
We're showing our age, I guess.
Okay, just a couple of. We're never showing our age. I loved just a few things that I want to say. I loved that they changed the format and that the first date, individual date, went to Alex and the first Rose. I think that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. And I loved, can I just say, Susan, you and I have spent a lot of time in the Beverly Center. That's where the first date was. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
The Beverly Center in a mall. Let's just be clear. A
And
mall.
it was closed though.
And it was closed. But it was cute. I mean, they did
Wasn't
fun.
she adorable?
She's adorable.
Yes.
And
I
they
like
definitely have a connection.
They
And
do. They do.
but wait, then can we talk? I have to ask you, the basketball, shoot your best shot. What did you think about
That
Zoe?
came like straight out, like no time to prepare.
I mean, but I was like watching Zoe going, whoa, girl, you're stealing them on a group date. This is a recipe for disaster with young women. Again,
Well, you
it's
saw
not,
it start to the little New Jersey girl, Jersey
Oh,
girls.
yeah.
Oh, she was fired up, boy.
but I'm just saying, like this, you can just see the drama percolating. And I'm sitting here thinking,
But-
oh, buckle up, baby, because
But
this is going to
don't
be a
you
lot of
always
drama.
think drama when you think Young Bachelor. That show has
Yes.
always been about drama. And that's what I think people were so surprised from
Yeah.
ours
Yeah,
because there wasn't drama.
there
We
wasn't.
genuinely cared about each
Yeah,
other. And not that
I-
these girls aren't caring, but there's going to be some
Oh,
dog
There's
fights.
going to be some.
Get
I mean,
down
the,
and
the
dirty.
nails coming off in the basketball game. That's just the prelude to what's going to happen
So
in that.
let me
in
ask
that
you
mansion.
this, Kathy. Who do
Yeah.
you think's going to be the one that tells him about the other, about
Oh,
everybody being
dear
pissed
Lord,
off?
I don't know.
Like,
They're,
come
all
on.
these girls. First, let me say, gorgeous,
Yeah.
long hair,
Yeah,
flipping.
they're
I'm like,
beautiful.
I just want
Their
one of their heads of
bodies.
hair. Their bodies, their hair, their makeup, their jewelry, their clothes. But you know what I have to say, as somebody who used to weigh 200 pounds,
Chloe.
the first night when Chloe said
Yes.
she was a plus size model, that she could be a 0, but she wasn't going to do that and not eat.
Yeah.
I love, first of all,
Yep.
she is beautiful.
She is.
And I love that we are representing now, Bachelor Nation is representing women of all colors, all
Yes.
size.
I
So
love
big
that.
shout out to Bachelor Nation on that one.
Absolutely.
She's gorgeous.
absolutely,
I think she's lovely.
absolutely. I know. They were all cute in their own ways. Like I said, I am blown away, Grant. Elijah, I thought was a contender. I really did.
Alicia?
I mean,
Alicia.
Alicia.
Yeah, I
would
agree.
really thought they
Yeah.
had a connection.
Yeah.
So can't
mean-
wait to see next week.
Wait, I can tell you who's going to be a pistol. The other one is Allie Joe, the girl from Jersey. I think that's who
I
it. I
think
think
it's
that's her name.
The
And
boxing trainer, right?
yeah, that's Allie
Yes,
Joe. I don't
yes.
know. Like I said, they're all gorgeous. Pick one. But yeah, I'm going to go with Allie Joe.
What do you
And-
think of the defense attorney, the Chicago girl?
I think, I can't. I
Did
feel
you
like
get a vibe from them?
the vibe I'm getting is total chaos so far. Like, what are their stories? Where are they going? Why are they upset? It's
Kathy,
like,
let me ask you something. Do you remember the night that we had to go perform live in front of an
Okay.
audience? That was our first big thing.
Yeah,
We had to do a
yeah.
talent thing and they had to
And-
do like a dance.
yeah.
And
Well, let me just say the girl, Carolina, first of all, shout out to me. I understand. Yeah, Dina, that's the attorney. That's her
Tina,
name,
the
right?
attorney, yes.
Yeah. Carolina is from Puerto Rico.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
I understand her Spanish speaking. So I'm like, oh, this is a new thing coming. We're going to have it all in Spanish. But she was so uncomfortable in that dance routine, which honestly, I know you're a big dancer and you love to dance. I
Mhm.
love to dance, but that would have been a lot for me. So I love that, she just comes out with the Spanish and then straddles him for 10 minutes.
I could the makeout though. I mean, I could see giving him a kiss, you
Yeah.
know, but this was like a makeout humping session. Slow
And you
your
know
roll,
what?
girlfriend. It's week two.
He was, I know, really, he was loving every minute of
Of
it.
course
Okay,
he was. He's
another
human.
age difference, another age thing. Mario, or I don't even know what the hell his name was. The singer, I'm like, I had no idea who he was. Did you? Oh God, we're getting old, Susan.
Well,
like
I
they're all.
recognize the song, but
I recognize
don't
the
know their
song, but
names.
like, who are you? I didn't know the song "Love, Love You." I think it was. Great song.
yeah. They
Um,
all knew it though. You see them all singing it. They were
I know
all
they knew,
singing it.
and then Bailey doing the splits. I'm like, another
Perfect
Could you see?
split. By
Could
the
you
way.
see us out there? Just
Perfect split. I can't.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that I think it's interesting. The second group date, asking Rebecca. So why would he think that it would go well? Why would anyone think it would go well?
Did you see Ella's expression? She looked so surprised. so surprised. Like,
Ella's
she
gone.
thought I know. Did you
I mean-
see her expression though when she didn't get the rose? It was like, really?
I don't
It's
know.
crazy. It's crazy, but it was a great
I
show.
think- Let me say, I think that towards the end, the girls are starting to, and somebody said it, one of the girls said it, they're realizing that this process is real and, it's hard to deal with dating the same guy
Yes.
and
yes.
there's going to be issues along the way.
Now
And
we know all about interruptions. That's part of the game. But the one
Zoe,
she interrupts
basketball?
Yeah. How many times in
So,
one night?
but here's the thing, I don't know how I feel about
and
it.
I
There's-
like her.
I like her, but there's no real rules on Bachelor, right? I mean,
No. no.
interrupting and sort of making your own way, taking advantage of opportunities. I don't know. I would
that's
not
the
have
part of
liked
the game, but that was a lot.
it. Well, it was a lot, but you know what? Somebody needed to. Allie Joe was the one that came at her and said, "Hey, girlfriend." But
Mhm.
I don't know how I feel about that. I just think that Grant is showing, you and I've talked about this. We know Joan, right? So we knew right off from the get-go that Chalk was the guy, or we felt strongly about it,
Yes,
that
yes.
Chalk was going to be the guy.
Mhm.
But in this case, he's making out with everyone, sticking tongues down. They're sticking tongues down each other's throats so far. I feel like they're going to have a digestive disorder.
Did you see Gary doing that? No.
And Joan? No.
No.
No. So
Joan
I don't
hardly
know.
kissed.
I know. So I don't know. And then the other thing that I really noticed was, at the rose ceremony, he was saying, "Oh, it's just the most important thing is having emotional availability and connection and being vulnerable." And I'm thinking, I don't know. Are we grading the girls who make out the best? Are we?
I don't know how
the
they could decide like that fast. Emotional
I don't know. I think it's going
availability.
to be. I felt the show for me was a little disjointed. Like the stories didn't hang. Some of the dates, I was like, "Wait a minute, what? What happened?" Things changed, but
It was fast for me. Like everything happened really quick.
that's what I mean by disjointed. Like, wait a minute, weren't we just there a minute ago?
Yeah, right. Right.
So it's
We
going to
shall
be interesting to see the way it goes, but it's definitely not the Golden Bachelor.
Not even a little bit. But hey, I'm enjoying the ride. We'll see what happens.
It's week 3. Things settle down. Hopefully, week 3, week 4.
Oh boy.
To make planning the perfect beach vacation easier, Beachbound launched the Perfect Beach Finder.
Props for the big game.
Our fastest connection.
Blow your friggin' sure programs.
Or some cash back pick of your receipt and up
Excited about today's guest, huh?
Okay.
blast. Limits apply. U.S. only. 1/1/25 through 3/31/25. For full terms and conditions, visit cprewards.com.
So, Kathy, I am so excited about today's guest, huh?
Okay, let's go.
So he is from Joan's season of The Golden Bachelor and a handsome man. Please welcome Jordan. Jordan, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey,
Well,
Jordan.
thank you for having me. I love that handsome that intro. That's fantastic. Let's do more of that.
Let's do more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm good, thank you.
So, how's the new year going for you, Jordan? Tell us what you've been up to. Give us.
It's
Give
been
us. a scoop.
great. I started the new year. I was up in the North Woods of Wisconsin and was at a lake house. And the owner of the house had a chainsaw and he drilled a hole in the lake, and a bunch of us jumped in. So that was.
Are
really
you crazy? Was that like the polar plunge
That's
thing?
the
Like-
Yeah, it was like our
Exactly.
own little polar plunge, but it was. I mean, it was pretty cool because it was a stark lake, windy. It was probably less than 20 degrees, and he chainsawed it. We jumped in, and he also has a sauna, so that was really went from the lake to the sauna to the lake to the
And
sauna.
he didn't get sick, Cass. So there's something
Yeah,
to
not
this.
get
I
sick.
know. I was just going to say, I walk out, go to the grocery store, and I'm down for a month with bronchitis. This guy's diving into freezing cold
How
weather.
many
It's
seconds
his
were you
lifestyle,
in
but
the
you
water?
can't, like, because my mom, I had an old Jewish mother, would be like, don't go out with your hair wet or something.
Yes.
That's just fake. That's just
Italians are the
I know
same
better.
way. You're going
Wait,
to catch your
are
death
you-
of cold.
Jordan, I didn't know you were Jewish. Oh, I guess I did know you were Jewish.
yeah.
I'm a half breed. I'm a half
How would you
breed.
know? I don't think we talked about it. I mean, I think I talked about it in the show maybe a little bit.
Somebody
Oh, no, 'cause
said,
we did like the black and white cookies. I did a few Jewish things for sure on the show.
well, I'm half Jewish, so I only eat the white cookies.
Besides trying to negotiate a better deal. No, that's bad Jewish.
So I do have a little question. Did you go out to see the guys when they all met at Chalk's house?
Or
No. Oh yeah. So I was with Chalk in Kansas City.
yeah,
So
yeah.
We had
Wait a
a
minute.
really fun time in Kansas City. But I didn't get to the final. So I would have loved it.
So I want to know, because Susan and I, we drill down deeply, just so you know, Jordan. So,
Yeah.
buckle up here.
Get ready, honey.
But get ready. So I want to know, like, how were you distraught about Joan? Like, tell me where you were.
Distraught about the relationship, about breaking.
Well,
the
that you didn't end up, going the full deal.
Were you taken by surprise?
No, I think Joan and I, we had, I think we talked about, I don't know, so much doesn't get made to the air. There's a lot that goes on, as you guys know. We had I would say a slow start. I was terrible out of the limo. I was atrocious. And
no, it wasn't that.
So was I, Jordan. So was I.
Yeah,
we all
and
felt the same way, trust me.
And then there's some guys who are just more, I won't say that I'm not open. I'm open, but some guys were really much further along than I was. I'm a little bit reserved when it comes to that. So I thought we had a really good relationship, and I would say this every time we connected, it was better than the last time. So we were just building, but that courtship is so short that you don't have time. You got to run to the finish line, otherwise you're just caught there. So I think Joan and I were kind of caught in that place where we weren't. Some guys were further along with their, expressing their emotions. And I just was, a little bit behind.
Well, I can honestly say from watching and the very beginning, I didn't know if you were ready. That's the feeling I got from you, but you came through.
Yeah, no, I was nervous. I was really nervous,
sure.
The first little bit. And then, it's a new environment. You're competing against 24 guys down to 18
It's crazy,
guys.
right? Did you ever think you would be doing that? I mean, we went through the same thing.
It was
us.
I will say,
crazy.
I did not personally feel like it was a competition. Did you feel like you were competing, Jordan?
Well, at some level, yeah. So in general, I would call myself a competitive person. So when I first got there, I was like, assess the guys. And I'm like, all right, there's a handful of guys that I maybe should worry about. They
Us
stuck
two
around,
went to the fireplace with a cocktail, and we were talking about everybody.
What
are we doing here?
All right. Speaking of women and dating, I'm really going to hit you here.
Oh, God.
I saw pictures of you and Leslie all over the internet, and I know that we all know this, right? The internet is either the life it's either the life you want to live or the life somebody else told you you're going to live. Are you dating her? Were you? Oh, look at your dog.
Oh,
we'll get to your dog in a minute. I know his name is Mickey. It's adorable. Are you? That was your reprieve, Jordan, to think quickly on your feet here. Now I'm coming at you. Are you dating her?
Leslie and I are not dating. We met at the Men Tell All. I had a suite for the LAFC soccer game. I invited a bunch of the bachelors.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I love soccer. Where was my invitation?
Jordan. What's wrong
my
with
daughter
this
works
picture?
for Austin FC.
I told all the production staff, and I told all the bachelors that were still out there. And Leslie and I had been texting a little bit, and she was coming out for Dancing with the Stars. So I said, hey, I have this suite. Please come join me. So she joined. And then we'll call now famous picture where she jumped on me and took a selfie.
It was cute.
It blew up the internet. But we were fast friends right away. Like certain people you connect with immediately. Right. Leslie and I would say is one of those. And then she came to Chicago. Her son lives here. We went to a couple concerts. Pascal joined us. I mean, it was she's a great friend.
She's good.
Well, that's a stop sign right there.
No, I mean, no, it's not every relationship is, a little different, but
there's different chemistry. There's friendship chemistry.
She's a great, and you guys know her, obviously. She's
love her.
Leslie is a great person. She's amazing. But next time you have tickets, my daughter works for Austin FC. I used to be a soccer ref. Yeah. I know the game. I know my daughter played collegiate soccer.
Oh, same. My daughter too.
Really? Where'd she play?
So, my oldest daughter, Allie, played for Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. My daughter played for Pomona
And then my
College.
youngest daughter is engaged to a former professional soccer player. So I'm a big soccer guy.
Wow.
Yeah. Played
That's
for the
like
Fire.
us in baseball.
Played in Europe.
Really? I'm sorry. He played for who? For where?
Chicago Fire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congrats on the engagement.
Did you play as well, Jordan? Were you?
I didn't really play soccer. I was more of a baseball, basketball type of guy. I would have loved it. I mean, soccer was, I was more different sports, but now I'll play a little bit. They still play in Chicago, and I'll jump in.
Do you play indoor? It's got to be indoor, right?
No, indoor. Well, now it would be indoor, but no, outdoor. There's fields in Chicago.
What's your position? What do you play?
No, not in soccer. I don't. I'm a stand-in. I'm I'm a henchman. If someone's bothering one of the kids, they bring me in and give them a shoulder. That's my.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So I want to know, Kathy, I believe this is better for the men than it was for us, because everybody says when you're leaving the show, they're going to blow up your DMs. You're going to have more people. And all you men, excuse me, a lot of the men on Jones season have girlfriends now. Was that the case for you? Because women, I believe, are on social media and reach out. Men our age do not. They don't even know what Instagram is.
No, the no question about it. It was the DMs and the private messages, and the women were very forward.
That's what I'm
saying. But Jordan, how do you feel about that? No, have you met with any of them? Have you had a date with any of them? Have you chatted with any of them?
So I've connected with, I'll say a few of them. I've had
Susan, wait, I have to interrupt here. The way he's talking, Susan, I think he had to book out an hour to talk with us because
I'm going to give directions.
There's lots to talk about.
He's got a date before.
I'm going to do a video
after.
on men getting on Instagram. I'll put it out in the paper.
Yeah, I'll try. I'm trying to help guys figure that out as well. So, I think I told this on one of the other podcasts. Guys who would be, let's say, in my situation, would think this is amazing. You have all these women who are in your DMs, and some of them are very forward, and they don't really stop. And like I said, if I look at the message, it's like I feel compelled to answer it. And then it's just
because you're a nice guy.
I mean, it's a lot of work. But
it is a lot of work.
So,
and you don't know how to really sift through them, because like I said, I went from 800 Instagram followers to 10,000.
Oh, we're feeling so sorry for you, Jordan.
So
we're feeling so sorry for you. You poor thing. How do you get up out of bed in the morning and feed poor Mickey lying on that sofa there?
He gets me up every morning pretty early.
So are you dating?
Yeah, I am dating.
And is she 40?
I won't say through the show, but kind of through the show. She recognized me, and that's how she approached me, and we've been kind of dating.
Oh, so you're dating one person.
Yeah, I would say that right now.
All right. So how about New Year's intentions or resolutions? Did you make any?
Yeah, I make them all the time, right? So how long have they lasted? This year, I really want to be more present, with my, the show was really good with, we went one time when they take away your phone for 5 weeks, right? Or 6 weeks, whatever it is.
Yep.
And then I'm out with the producer one day, and we had a day on our own, and you see everybody is on their phone except me, because I don't have a phone.
Right.
You really realize how terrible that is. Standing in line at a restaurant, everyone's got their head down. You're walking across the street.
Yeah.
So
that's why we don't meet anybody.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's the this great benefit to humanity, but I think it's not. It really isn't. So one of the things is really be less present, and it's kind of a contradiction. I have to be on social media, but less involved with the phones.
Especially when you're out in public. That's one of the things. Like, I'll go out and dine by myself. Yeah, and put the phone down, but it's almost uncomfortable because you're so used to it.
It is.
It's crazy.
It's really it's a crutch that we all have, and I think we'd all benefit by putting it away for a good part of the day.
So, Jordan, you were talked about your daughters. I also have, how many children do you have? 2 daughters?
I have 3 daughters.
Three daughters. Yeah. Okay, so I have 2 sons and a daughter. And I'm just going to give the Reader's Digest version here. My 2 sons were fabulously excited about me going on the show. My daughter, not so much. How did your daughters feel about you going on the show?
My kids loved it. So my youngest daughter is the one that signed me up, unbeknownst to me. And then once, when I first told them, I said, I got this call, because she did it years ago. She did it in 2020 when, when they first were talking about the show, and then they found me last January. And then the kids were super excited about it. They obviously, my girls and I are really close, and they love my, banter with them, and just like my shtick in general. So they thought, they're like, America's going to love you, Dad.
And
so
they did. And they did.
There. And they also, they wanted me to find love as well. A lot of times it's, each of them are all partnered up. So it would be 7 of us instead of 8 of us. So
how long have you been single, Jordan? How long have you been single?
Like four, I got divorced 8 years ago. I had a girlfriend for like half that time, so I'd say about 4 years.
Yeah.
And in that time, I've had little relationships as well.
Yeah.
So other than obviously you're dating this woman now and giving up phones or realizing, we need to spend less time on phones. How has your life changed other than those two things from being on the show?
Well, first of all, you guys, like, one thing is being recognized is really unique.
Crazy, right?
Really fun. I mean, you guys are more popular than I am, obviously. So you get recognized more, but the amount I get recognized is really fun for me. People come up, they're excited to see me. They're like, "Are you that guy from the show?"
Yeah.
So that's been really nice. And then, a lot of doors have opened up as far as activities. So invited to games, invited to concerts, restaurant openings, those types of things. So that's been really fun. And then I've done
some modeling. I was just going to ask.
Yeah.
I heard
I've done some modeling. Look at me. I'm going to be a model at age 61.
You and Guy.
Did they have skinny jeans on you, or what did they have on?
So that skinny jeans. I got kind of trounced
and the boots
after that. But
I know.
Why didn't one of the producers say, "Jordan, tuck yourself in a little bit"? I don't know.
The day on the water, right by the water, I was like, "Whoa!"
I know. Plus, listen, I could talk like this with you guys because I know you think like I do.
Yeah.
Guys, we've been there for 5 weeks sequestered from women, other than Joan. Someone grazes my arm, and I'm like, whoa. So, you can't stick me in tight jeans. Someone just said, Jordan, take it back a little bit, buddy. But,
I hear you.
So there's some embarrassing pictures out there, but hey, I'm a man. What can I say?
That's right. Be proud, baby. Just be
All
proud.
right. All right. Before this degenerates any further, we're going to get into some fan questions.
Wait, one second, Kat. I want to
okay.
know, what advice would you give someone else, another man that was going to go on the show?
I would say, you really got to be open to the experience. Be yourself. What they're looking for, I think what the fans are looking for, what everybody's looking for, is really for you to just be yourself and just be open to whatever situation happens there on the show. There's a lot of these different things that pop up, and just be open and vulnerable and express those feelings.
You know what, Jordan? It's hard. I think what you were saying, it's difficult sometimes to be vulnerable when it's not really just Joan. It's the world that's going to be seen. It's your family. That's what we were talking about earlier.
There's other people involved. Exactly.
Yeah. So you have to be vulnerable, and you have to be who you are. And sometimes that gets you the woman. And sometimes it doesn't.
I would forget until after the fact and go, "Oh God, my kids are going to see this." What did I say?
Listen, but I people have asked me, and more women have asked me to be on, like, what should I go on the show than men have? And I always say, absolutely. If you can get on the show, it's an experience of a lifetime. You get to meet these incredible people. You get a behind the scenes peek at what's going on in television land. I think, and it was a fantastic, not a perfect experience, as we all know, by any stretch, but a fantastic experience.
Absolutely. Life-changing, could you say?
Yeah, life-changing.
Oh, it's definitely
and who would have
life-changing.
thought at our age this would happen?
Susan,
Right.
Yes.
you know how it's life-changing?
Huh?
Jordan has a girlfriend. You and I, not so life-changing.
We have a friendship that will never end.
I bet you know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
All right. Enough.
let's
We're going to
do
get
the
into our
questions.
fan questions. Here's the thing, Jordan. We get fans writing questions. We're going to read them, and then you're going to weigh in if you'd be so kind to weigh in and sort of give your opinion with us.
We all give some advice.
All right, here we go. Tanya writes, "Hi, ladies. I need your help. My boyfriend is literally addicted to football. I don't know what to do. I've been with him for like 6 months, and I feel like he's always watching football. I didn't even know football could be on for so long. He'll have it pulled up on his phone when we're out with friends or going to dinner. He's always checking his fantasy team. Everything, and it's driving me nuts. I know you guys are really sensitive about that kind of thing. So how do you suggest I go about talking to him about this? What do you think is a fair compromise to ask for? Thank you." Okay, what's your answer to Tanya, Jordan?
Well, what I would say is, my guess, he's not just playing fantasy, he's probably gambling.
That's what my question was. Is he betting? 100%,
because I used to be a football gambler back in the day. And I would be driving before we had the internet. I have to pull over with my family, pull over to a payphone
Get
and
the
call
scores.
So It's an addiction, like any other addiction. So she's got it. She would have to deal with it like he's an addicted drinker, or is addicted, something
Smoke
else.
or whatever.
No question that is an addicted gambler. And that's the way they act. That nothing, you block out everything, the world. He's got to know what's going on with his teams and his scores. And well, the good news is if he's only bets football, it's about to end here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, right. I would have a conversation with him and ask him. And
Absolutely.
if we're winning, then you need to shut the F up.
And
Listen, don't worry about it, honey.
I got this.
I think, you want your partner to be present with you. And if he's,
that's where I was going. I'm like, you
Yeah,
guys
that's
are
great.
talking about if you're winning. I'm sitting here getting stuck on the line where she says at dinner he's on the phone. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be dating
that's-
a guy who was on his phone.
No. That's
just
a,
wouldn't.
that's a deal breaker. That's 100% a deal breaker.
Yeah.
He's got to figure out his life. And I think if he's that involved and that addicted to his phone and gambling or his football, I mean, he's not that interested in the football. It's about the money for sure. It's a
Yeah.
All right,
Definitely find
I
out,
would seek
Tanya.
counseling. Seek
Tanya,
counseling. Get him to come. Get him to come.
1-800-addiction,
Yeah.
And we're in the playoffs, so I'm not.
Well, I had heard, someone said that the like gambling for the younger guys now is like the new porn. It's
Yeah,
super-
because it's legal and,
all consuming. You can bet on everything. So, and it's super easy to do. So I think it becomes all consuming to many of these guys.
it's funny you said that, Jordan. I dated a guy for 10 minutes. We're still friends, but he was telling me, my dad, my husband, they gambled on games. You got the line and the whole
Right.
bit. But this guy that I know says that you can bet on how long it's going to be for the first down and how.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's
You can bet on
crazy
the coin
betting.
toss. You can bet on
exactly.
I mean, it's now you can bet on every little mini aspect of the game.
Did you
And
ever
so
walk
it just
into the
keeps you-
casino and the betting part? That's like
Oh, yeah.
huge.
The
Yeah.
sports book is crazy.
Yes,
It's crazy.
yes.
So it's a problem without a question. If you're one of those people who's involved and you have an addictive personality, you can really get caught into it, and it's super hard to get out.
Do you
Yeah,
gamble
yes.
anymore?
I don't really gamble anymore. I was a trader for a long time, a commodities trader, which
Oh.
was like almost like gambling.
That's like gambling. Let's get
It is
So
like
it's-
gambling. And then because
Soybeans
of
and
that,
cotton.
the extension of everyone down at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, half the guys there were bookies anyway. So you were gambling, and on the weekends you were gambling. So when that life ended, I had to, I ended.
You let go of that.
To make planning the perfect
Weekend of the year is finally here, which means more updates
5G home internet keeps getting
and fitness breakthrough that will blow your structured programs like For Beginners Only.
With Colgate Palmolive to cprewards.25
Getting people to get to know Jordan. Kat,
through 3/31/25. For full terms and conditions, visit cprewards.com.
all right, now we're going to do some fun questions, if you don't mind. It's
Sure.
about getting people to get to know Jordan. Kathy, you want to begin with
Yes.
the first one?
Oh, be careful of your answer here. That's all I can say.
Be careful.
It,
All
it
right.
may end some of your friendships. If you were stranded on a deserted island and you could have Susan and me with you, what
Okay, of
other
course.
one person? No, that is not the question. Okay, if you were stranded on a deserted island and could only bring 3 guys from
Yeah.
the mansion, who would you
they
bring?
be?
Only 3. So there's like 7 of us that I would say are really
Yeah.
close guys.
Play by the rules here, Jordan. We're not gambling here.
Well,
Straight answer.
I made the closest guys. I would say Keith is. He and I were fast friends immediately, and I know Chalk answered me. He said he would bring me, so I have to reciprocate and bring Chalk because he's
Okay.
been a good guy. And then I'm going to say Pascal is a great friend. I can't stop at 3. I cannot
All right.
stop.
It's hard,
That's
isn't
fair.
it?
I-
It's
I wait.
really
Right.
hard.
How many of y'all
And-
live in Chicago? Wait, how many of y'all live in Chicago?
So Pascal and I, and then Jack kind of lives south Chicago. So 3 of us. Michael, I think, might be moving back to Chicago too. Michael is from Chicago. So
Yeah.
so I've been out. Michael's been to Chicago. We've been out to dinner. Mark is coming. We're going to go out to dinner with him in a couple of weeks.
And I was in Chicago. Hello, I need your number the
Susan.
next time I'm
Susan.
there.
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, I show you the town, but I'll show you my version of the town.
And to be
Okay.
clear, Jordan,
Yes.
where Susan goeth, Kathy
Kathy
goeth.
goeth. And you can bring
let's
your
do it.
girlfriend.
Let's do
Tell
it.
her, don't be jealous. We're just friends.
I mean, we'd be walking down the street. It would be like a scene.
It's
for
crazy,
sure.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it'd
I
be so
went to
fun.
see Val from Dancing with the Stars. They perform on when they're not on the show. And
Yeah.
it was a blast. We all had dinner afterwards. I
fun.
miss Chicago. I
Yeah,
really do.
so-
Okay. So what's one piece of advice you wish you could have given your younger self?
Well, the simple one is wear sunscreen. So that's easy. But I would say, I spend more time with your parents. My parents, I lost my parents. I was pretty young. We had a great relationship. I spent time with them, but I would say that to other people. You never know
crying.
how long people
That's
have.
beautiful.
I am
And,
tearing up. Jordan, nobody has ever, we ask that question to just
Yeah.
about everyone who comes on our podcast. I'm literally sitting here
That's
tearing up.
beautiful.
I've never had
We like you a
anyone
little
answer that.
bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And I just literally, I got goosebumps from you
I
saying
know,
that.
me
Like,
too, me too.
So so I'll just tell you a quick story. So on the show, I lost my dad. I was 29. He was 63. But
So was my dad, 63.
so it really, and at the time, it didn't really make sense. My mom was 61, the same age as Joan was. And at some point when we were talking about it, Joan was, talking about the hard, how hard it is with John. And then it like popped in my head. I said, she's the same age as my mother. Like but my mother dated my father when they were, teenagers. And when my dad passed away, she wouldn't even think of dating anyone else. It was like heresy to talk about it. And
Well,
I have 3 older brothers, and we were like, Mom, like Dad wouldn't want you to be alone. She wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. And we begged her, and it just was, and I praised Joan for that. I said, my mom was the same age, and she was a young woman, but she was, she said, I have my husband, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and I know you guys have both lost your husbands as well. So
No.
Mine's
Susan's
still around. He
divorced.
still helps me out sometimes. Yeah.
Oh.
We're
Yeah,
friends.
no,
We're
that-
good friends.
that's-
you lost your husband. And,
Yeah,
I
Kathy
did. And when you just said that, it's seeing it reflected through your eyes of my daughter was 30, 31, turning 30. She was 31 when her dad died. And I can't even consider, I mean, we talk about it, but losing a parent when you're that young.
But I think all of us feel the same way when you lose a parent or when you lose your spouse. After a given amount of time, life does go on. And why not have another love? It won't be the same, or you know what I mean? But it can be
no,
love.
of course not. You don't. You shouldn't be alone.
You don't give
you've
up.
spent a great
Right.
time. It doesn't
You
diminish
share.
the love you had with your spouse at all.
Right.
It doesn't diminish it.
They
All
could
right,
be better.
Could be better.
That's right. All right. I have another question.
Yes.
We, in your video, well, I have my cat who's literally, you can't see, but
I just saw it.
Walk by.
Yeah, walk there, and the tail's hanging in there.
I see the tail.
And I saw your dog Mickey. So and Mickey, it looks like an adorable. You said he's a rescue. After a long day, or what is your favorite way to unwind? And I'm guessing it has something to do with your sweet dog. But tell me, how do you like to unwind?
Yeah, so Mickey and I have a great routine. I live right across from the lake, and we get up early and we do the lake walk, and then in the afternoon come back. We take 2 long walks, and the second one is another, right by the lakefront, and it's just
It's cold. Is it
really
not cold?
It is really cold. This
I
morning
know
was
it's
super cold. But
That is
he
love
loves it.
right there.
He's kind of impervious, so I do it for him. And it's therapeutic for me too. So we take good long walks, and he's what I'll call a man's dog. Like he's rough and tumble. He loves to, and I just love it. He's
Mickey.
my sidekick.
Wait, Mickey, your dad thinks you're rough and double. I see Mickey, or I did, snoozed out on the floor and then on the sofa. That's how look. I'm going with not rough and tumble here, Jordan. I'm going with look at curled up like a cat.
But he's a great companion.
And how old is Mickey?
All my divorced friends, like the guys, I always get a dog. Like they're unhappy.
Get a dog.
My advice to everyone is get a dog because there's love.
I
that love
didn't
is
because
very real
of
love.
the responsibility, because I'm moving around so much. I don't
know.
think it would be fair. That's one
People
of the reasons.
say that, and I say that you find a way. You find a way. I think because the love that you get and you receive is amazing. It's incredible.
I have 2 cats. You said that Mickey's a rescue. I have 2 cats that are now 13 that I have a big heart for animals, and they needed They needed fosters. And so I fostered these 2 kittens. When my husband came home, he was like, what? But I fostered them. They were 5 weeks old. They're sisters. And of
They're
course,
13.
and now I couldn't take them back. I mean, when they
Right.
said, you can bring them back, we have room now. And I said, I can't.
Okay.
And so
I have
adopted them.
one last question, and then we
I
got to
just
wrap.
want to say my youngest daughter just fostered, or she adopted a cat. She has two adopted greyhounds, and she adopted
Wow.
a kitten, and it's like a special needs kitten. It's the most adorable thing.
Aw.
Its back legs don't work so great, so it's always just sliding around and
And the
flying.
dogs are good to it?
I mean, I can send you guys pictures. You won't believe it. She's sleeping on the dogs' heads. I mean, it's incredible.
I love
Is she going to
it.
keep the
We didn't
cat?
think we were cat people until we have this cat now. So
Listen,
maybe-
my cats are like dogs. People who don't
Yeah.
like cats love my cats. They come in. People who are allergic to cats, literally, are
Right.
not allergic
They'll
to
love
my
it. Yeah,
cats.
so
No,
I
they are
have a new
decent.
perspective on cats now.
Good.
All
I'm
right,
glad to hear
last
it.
question of the day, because
Yes.
we're going to have to wrap. If you were to write an autobiography, what would the title be?
Title of my autobiography would be that's a tough question. Let me
It
think.
is.
Might be just smiles a lot. It's not very prophetic, but I do smile a lot. I have my outlook on life is I'm usually happy all the time. So something
We share that.
along those lines. I don't have something just like a one
Mine,
punch
it's
in the
yours.
face kind of answer.
mine is, and I've thought about writing it, but then I thought, but mine would be Run Between the Drops, because that's to
That's
me,
good. I like it.
it's what you're saying.
Yeah,
It might
yeah.
be raining out, but I try to look for the positive no matter what's happened in my life.
No pressure.
It could be smile between the drops, but run between the drops. Enjoy life, grab for what you can. There's going to be rain, there's going to be sun. But anyway, that's mine.
would be
What's yours, Susan?
enjoy who you are, just me.
Right. Those are all great. I mean,
Yeah. So let's
like
all
I
get
said,
writing.
I think that, I kind of always looked at the positive side. I haven't taken life as too serious. So I got to figure out a good title for a book that goes along those lines.
I agree.
And
I
we
can't
get
thank
one
you
chance at
enough.
this. We might as well have fun, right?
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I still see the cup as almost full. I mean,
Yes.
I
And you
am
guys know, I
definitely that
love
girl.
your, I love both of your zest for life. I love the spunk that you guys bring to the, I try to do the same thing in my life.
I see that.
Life's too short
Every
to
day
be
it's a
boring,
choice.
right?
It's a choice every
Yes,
day.
100%.
You can get up and be horrible, or you can get up and be grateful and live, life to the fullest.
Yeah.
And it's a choice every day.
And
100%. I
Jordan,
agree
we
with
just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It's so nice to see you so relaxed,
Yes.
and that beautiful smile and that
Thank
handsome
you.
face.
And
It's so nice to
very
meet,
lucky.
like I said, I missed out on meeting you guys. It's so
You'll-
nice.
we'll
You'll
meet.
meet.
We will
We'll
meet.
I'm sure we
We're
will.
not going
I know.
anywhere. Jordan, we thank you. And that's,
thank you
Thank
for
you so much.
joining us.
going to do
It's-
it today for this episode of Bachelor Happy Hours Golden Hour.
Hold
Thank
it,
you.
hold it.
Right.
I want people to know where they can write into us, just in case it's a new year, Susan. People,
There you
they've
go.
lost their minds. They've lost their memories. We love hearing from you guys. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, but please write in questions, comments. If you enjoyed, our interview today with Jordan, we're going to be doing a whole lot more in the new year. So write in your questions or comments to bachelornation.com/golden hour. Follow us on socials. We love hearing from you.
Or
And any
DM
questions
us.
for me,
And-
you guys can find me on the interweb. And ask any
As long
questions
as it's
for
not
me.
the dark web, Jordan.
I'm going to be
Not the dark
DMing you now,
As-
Jordan. I want
that's
to know
right.
everything now.
As long as
And
it's
if
not
you
the
guys
dark web.
listen, I don't know if you ever come through Chicago. Obviously, please look me up. We'll have
We
dinner.
We
We'll show
would
you my
love
version
to.
of
Absolutely.
Chicago.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, until
Thank you
next
so
time,
much.
this is it. Have a great week.
Thanks,
Listen
guys.
to Bachelor Happy Hours Golden Hour in the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Bachelor Nation, Joe and I found our happy